When you're turning, you start turning your piece of wood, mark the centres of the piece of wood, okay, and then try and use a nail or something like a punch just to mark them, make a dimple in each end. You line it up on the lathe, this end first, and hold it here, and then bring up the tailstock. Locate the punch hole in the other end, put the centre in it, and then lock down the tailstock and wind the handle in until it holds the wood. Until you can see, well, you'll know because it starts to bite in the wood at the other end. And then lock down here, just so that when it vibrates, this will turn a little bit, but it's not going to turn and retract the revolving head. Tool rest needs to be as close to the piece of wood as possible without it catching, so make sure that you rotate it and that there are no catches. Okay, you could get a little bit closer than that. Start turning on the lowest speed. Okay, the reason for that is if you've done anything wrong in your setup and you start on a high speed and try and start it up, you can have quite a bit of a shock, especially if the wood catches on here. Okay, so start it. The clutch in here, it's an aluminium clutch that comes in and out depending on where you move this lever. Okay, which means that on low speeds it can bind a little bit, so you need to give it a little bit of a turn to start with. Okay, even on high speeds it can do that as well, because it just depends where the jaws are as to where the belt is inside here within those jaws. These will open and close depending on this. The clutch on the back will open and close depending on the spring. Sometimes you need to take this off to put a little bit of WD on the rod inside there. That's just general maintenance. You'll have to do that with any lathe. Obviously maintenance varies depending on the lathe. So let's start it. Let's give it a bit of a spin. Important. Hand over the top if you're going to touching any of it. Try not to touch it try to touch it as little as possible. Never touch it here. You touch it here, your finger can get drawn into the wood and between here, and you will lose that little thing there.